You guys, I feel like it's been forever. I'm so out of practice. I feel like it took me forever to get all my stuff around, and no alcoholic beverage this week. I am still pickled from all the tequila that I drank last weekend in Chicago with Clinty. I am sporting one of the coolest koozies I've ever seen in my life. I have awesome friends. Mr. Paul Miller, thank you so much. Sometimes I am pretty fucking magical, just saying. Hey guys, Chevy Rell here. You know the drill. For any of you who are new and don't know who I am, there's like a little eye up here. Ooh, ooh. That seems naughty to me. I swear I'm 12. I'm not even drinking. Anyway, there's a little eye up here in the corner somewhere if you want to know more about me. If not, just watch and partake in the craziness of the stuff. We will go full steam ahead. I am Chevy Rell of Chevy Rell Stuff. I record in the stuff room in the middle of a cornfield in Indiana, and I like to do fibery things, so let's do it. My FOs this week, as you guys know, I'm doing my crochet blocks. The ends are not woven in, and I have not blocked it, but you get the gist of it. This is Sparkle, which I don't believe you can see. It's one of the mini skeins that I received from our podcasters meetup at the Michigan Fiber Festival. This one I do believe came from Rachel at Treehouse Knits, so thank you very much. It will forever be part of my blanket. If I ever finish my blanket before like I die, because I think this is only like number 19 or something out of like 200 squares. Some more FOs also from the Michigan Fiber Festival. I got this Fandancy loom from Craftsanity. Again, I will have everything linked down below. If there is ever anything that you guys are looking for, you just let me know. Like, I try to link everything, and if I haven't, it's just because I've forgotten. So she has all sorts of cool looms. This is the first time that I have used this one. Being how it was my first and I was just playing around, I used some hand spun that was not my favorite. It was deep stash hand spun Tunis. I could be wrong, but I believe that Tunis is a meat sheep, and it is very not pleasant. My original thoughts that I was going to do with this hand spun is I was going to make some mittens, and because it was so scratchy, I was going to line the mittens. But then I thought, hello, pot holders, what? So that's what I did. This one's my first one, and I don't know if y'all can see. There, you can see better. I knew that light was on for a reason. It is very open. Now, it will work, like if you wanted to put, you know, something hot on it, it would be fine. But this is just one strand. This is kind of practice. That's why I use this. I may have already said that, I don't know. So then I did a second one, same yarn, except for this. I ran out, I mean, you can obviously see, and I just grabbed some other hand spun I had. I don't know what that is, but whatever, you get the gist of it. I held this one double. So this one, you can clearly see, is a lot thicker. Now, I kind of like the color of this one better. There must have been more white in this one. I don't know. Or white. Yeah, I guess it is white. So I made those two things, like I said, just playing around. I am looking forward to trying some like t-shirts or a cut up sheet, like a rag, and see how those come out. You know that I also got these, it came in this nifty little bag, also from Craftsanity. You got 2 of these. I only use this one. I need to do more research on this. I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. I did 2 different things. The first one, and these are so messed up. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. The first one I tried, I don't even know how to show you this, it's so dumb. This is weaving thread that I got. I got a big spool from Weaver's Loft at a fiber festival many years ago. I use it to spin with and things. So I used that for this. Then I used a hand spun yarn and it just didn't turn out great. This is the, when I took it off, it's a mess. It's, yeah, I don't know. So then, and I can't remember the warp and weft, and I suck at this, sorry guys. Okay, so on here, right? This is what you loop around these things. At least that's what I did. Because this turned out so wonky and just not great, I decided that that was too thin. So on my next one, I used yarn. So this looks a little better, right? So these loops were around here, and then I wove in the center. So I took it off. I obviously used way thinner yarn for the actual weaving part, but now I have this, and I'm not good at finishing. I don't even know what to do with it. I could tack these on something, like mount it and make like a flower. I could probably fold all these and like wad them on the back somehow and do something. I don't know. I need to look at her YouTube and see if maybe she has some different finishing techniques. The weaving part is not hard. It's actually very enjoyable, but then I don't know what to do with it after I take it off. I know that it could be a necklace, like you can make a little pendant. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make it look finished. Finishing is not my forte. I need a little help. So I'm definitely going to research more on that. These are a lot of fun. I have not used this one yet. I imagine it'd be something similar. I could have kept going on this one. I just didn't. I stopped. Hopefully I can figure this out someday. It has all sorts of potential. I just haven't figured out what it is yet.
I need to figure out my finishing techniques.
My next finished item is some hand spun that I spun on my Turkish spindle from Shepherd's Woodworking. For those of you who don't know how Turkish spindles work, now that I have this off of here, or now that I have the yarn off of it, you pull it up like this. It has a...
Just throw it.
It's all right. It's okay. I'm sure it's fine. Except now I have to get on my hands and knees because it's fallen under my trunk and who knows what the hell's under there. It's like spider season, y'all. Olive is not helping me. That was a score. I found my bracelet that I lost a long time ago. And yes, there are spiders under there. Gonna have to figure that out. Ugh.
I'll make Dan do it.
Okay, this is how a Turkish works. You wind the yarn on, you take this off, and then you pull this guy out and slip the ball off. I'll insert a picture of what my turtles look like. I mean, I showed you a turtle on the last episode, but I'll insert a picture here of what it looked like while I was plying them. I mentioned before that my Turkish has a hook and a lot of them do not, and you half hitch them. When you take this off, as you're pulling that hook through, you don't want to pull the hook through, which is why I'm guessing a lot of Turkish, you have to use a half hitch and there isn't a hook for your yarn. But this guy is brilliant and you just unscrew the hook. It just, ta-da. And I would rather have the hook than not have a hook. And that's probably because I learned and have spun all of my drop spindling on a top whirl, so I like the hook. Anywho, now what came off of that, I mean, this is the first time that I've ever spun Polworth. I got 100 and, is that right? 64. I got 128 yards. I have no idea what it is. Hold on. Remember that tattoo I have that's so freaking helpful? You guys, I have a built-in wraps per inch. Just saying. Just saying. 9 wraps per inch. Which, let me look at my cheater sheet. 9, it's a worsted. Which I would have thought it's a bulky. I bet it's bulky in a lot of areas. There are a lot of fatter, like see right here. This is a perfect example for all you non-spinners. That is obviously not balanced. That is a chunky and a worsted. I don't care. I wanted it that way. I was spindle spinning. I was spinning for the enjoyment of it. I let it be whatever it wanted to be. My plan for this is to knit a hat for the Strings and More head along that Jaymie and Shanna are putting on for the month of September. You guys, Polworth. I've never spun with Polworth before. It is soft and squishy and awesome, and I cannot wait to knit a hat with this. So I'm going to be winding this like probably at least by the weekend. Speaking of the Strings and More hat along, what? My last FO. You guys, isn't it awesome? I love it. It's the Hearth and Stone pattern, not Hearth, which is what I had called it multiple times before Mama Jean corrected me because I'm a doofus. By Ninja Chicken, I did her pattern. You can either do a beanie, slightly slouchy, or super slouchy. I did the slightly slouchy. It is washed and blocked. Words. I couldn't think of my words. This yarn is Voolenvine. I forget what the yarn is. I will let you know. I know I said it the last time and now I don't have the tag. I'm a bad podcaster. Oh, wait, Cocoon. Cocoon, I think, is the base. Can't remember the colorway name. That's it from FOs. And it's hot, so I'm taking that off. Ooh. The hair's going up, people. One of these days, I might leave it down, but not right now.
Not right now.
Whips. I did work on my Dropcloth Sampler by Rebecca Ringquist a little bit, but I'm not going to show you because it was only like 2 leaves and that's silly and it's out in the kitchen and you guys are not going to care because it'll look the same exact way it did as the last time you saw it. So when I get more done on it, I will show it to you. My next whip is one that has been taking Instagram by storm. So, being how it's taking Instagram by storm, how fitting is it that it's in my Rainstorm Studio bag? Zombies. What? That's right. Zombies, people. I thought that this bag was fitting because the In the Light Shawl by Day-Crosier, KAL, is in full effect, and it will be done on October 31st. So, hello, zombies. I've already knit one, as most of you, I'm guessing, already know, and this one is for my mamacita. It is not my colors. The last time y'all saw, oh, I forgot to put a marker in it, but when I recorded with Mama Jean, the last time you guys saw this, it was wee little, it was like that much. Like that's all there was. I have blended the second color in, which I think it looks pretty cool, right? I like it. I like it a lot. Oh. And I forget who does these stitch markers, but is it not gonna focus? It probably won't. It won't focus. It won't focus on my damn stitch marker. It's a good one. It says 0 fucks given. Right? Anyway, I made myself put this down. And the reason I made myself put this down is because it was the only thing I was working on and nothing else was getting any lovin', because this is so potato chippy. I love seeing all of your knits. Okay, back up if some of you don't know what's going on. Myself and Lacey from the Knitted Cupcake podcast are doing a dual KAL or partner KAL or double dipping KAL or something. We both knit an In the Light Shawl already, loved it. Designer is Day-Crosier. It is potato chippy awesomeness, as some of you already know. For those of you who don't, search the hashtag In the Light KAL. Actually, I think it's over here. In the Light KAL. If you want to participate, there is still plenty of time. This is a fast knit. You need 3 colors. It's fingering weight held double, and you faded or melted it. I mean, it doesn't have to fade. Just the colors melt into each other. But if you search the tags on Instagram, you can see everybody's colors. They are so much fun. I love seeing the fringe version and the non-fringe version. What you doing, baby girl? Olive's up and about. You want to say hi? She's going to say hi in a little bit, I promise. I love seeing everybody's color choices and their border options. You can either do a fringe version or a non-fringe version. My friend Elizabeth did a picot edge on hers. Love it. And I think I might do that one on my mom's. Now the pattern isn't written for a picot edge, but I'm sure it's very easy to do that on the non-fringe version. The other thing is I started knitting the fringed version, and I haven't really looked into the difference as far as the knitting goes between the two, so I might have to do some fiddle farting around on that. I do think that I'm going to try for the picot edging on my mom's because I really love it. This yarn is In the Long Grass. Purchased both of them at Simply Socks Yarn Company. My LYS, be jealous, because they have like 17 tons of yarn in that store. I'm not even exaggerating.
Tons.
As in legit weight of measurement, tons. This one is Afterglow, colorway Afterglow, and this, now it's melted, or whatever. This is what it looks. I think I've only done a couple rows of all this color. I don't remember, but this is what this one looks like, and it is Garden Party. garden party. And these are a single 100% merino. And then my last color is going to be this awesomeness. And it is Atomic Fibers. I need to clarify this. Just a minute. Real quick, for those of you who don't know what the In the Light shawl looks like, I suppose I could show you a picture. I'm terrible at assuming, and I know what they say about it, yada yada. Okay, I need to clarify this because I do believe that I mentioned this in the other episode. This is the Magic Potion colorway. It's 70/30 merino silk, and it's by Atomic. This is by Atomic Blue Fibers, and it says atomicbluefibers.com. While I was doing my show notes, well, actually, rewind. I was at knitting and I was talking to my friend Diana about it, and she said, oh, I know Atomic Fibers. And I was like, no, I think this is different because the word blue's in it. So it's Atomic Blue Fibers, because I know who Atomic Fibers is. And it wasn't, I don't know, I thought there were two different companies. So because the word blue was in it. But then when I was typing my show notes, they changed their name. So Diana, you were right. It is Atomic Fibers. It used to be Atomic Blue Fibers, but it is now Atomic Fibers. It'll be linked in the show notes. And when you go on their website, it says up at the top that they had changed their name. She has a new no-go.
New no-go.
She has a new logo. And it's super fresh and cool looking, so you should go check her out. Her colorways, I can't wait to get into this color. But like I said, I have some time to knit on this, so I didn't want to knit it all at once. My next whip is my Sous Sous. How about I show you what it looks like? There she is. Now, this is a paid-for pattern by Loop, let me see, for Loop of London, by Nora Gone, right there. Again, I will have it linked. This masterpiece of textured awesomeness is double moss stitch, which texture-wise is amazing. Knit-wise
is very slow.
I've worked on this a lot because I want to wear it. This is definitely a progress.
Process in progress? What is it? Process knit? There's a process knit and a... Why am I blanking on that? Process?
Product. Wow. That took way too long. I blame the tequila last weekend. I had way too much. Oh my God. It was amazing though. This is a product knit. I want it done. I want to wear the damn thing. It's so slow, but gorgeous and beautiful, and I cannot wait to wear it. I got the back done. Now, the last time y'all saw it, this is going to be hard to show. I was here, so I got all that done. Now look at the top of this. Isn't that weird? I've never seen, I feel like I did something wrong. I dug through the projects on Rav, and a lot of them don't have this. The majority of people I saw that knit this, they knit it in the smallest size. This is meant to have crazy positive ease. 20 inches of positive ease. So it's meant to be big. Most people knit the small. I will tell you, when I got it off the needle, like actually while I was knitting it, because I switched needles on it, like halfway through because I had so many crammed on. Like, look at that. Right? Like, I was freaking out that my gauge was off and it was too big. But my gauge isn't off. It's spot on. I'm doing the medium. Now, one other gal on Ravelries looked like this with these little ledges. I couldn't find anybody else's that showed pictures of it pieced, and there isn't a schematic on the pattern. I do kind of like the schematic because when this happens, I know if I messed it up or not. When I piece it together, if it looks weird or something, I don't know. I'll fudge it. I'll make it work. I'm not doing the ends or anything. I'll figure it out. But I am a little perplexed and nervous that it's wrong. But the back is done. And look at that texture. Isn't that awesome? I don't know if you're seeing this very well because I'm behind it. But the yarn that I'm using for this is Plucky Solo held double, which is fingering weight. The pattern calls for DK. This is in the deep dish colorway. So it's gray with little flecks of like a rust color that you can't see very well on camera. I've tried to show you before. I did start the front part and I've gotten this far. So not very far. I haven't even done the first cable yet on the repeat. But at least I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. As slow and a slog as the knit is, I feel like there's light at the end of the tunnel. And the front piece is not near, like the back piece was really the bitch. I mean, that was, the front piece, you know, is shorter. I mean, it's still gonna take a while, but not as much knitting. Next up are my vanilla Franken socks that I told you I had like a plan for and that you'd see, and this isn't even what I was talking about, but these are gonna be a hodgepodge mess, okay? I've always wanted to do, instead of a ribbed band, a baroche band. So 2 at a time, toe up. This yarn is by the Miller Girls. It doesn't have a colorway name, so I can't help you there, but it's their sock yarn. These are Chiagus. I hate them. I love the tips. The tips are good, but I hate this band. They are non-enjoyable. And I know tons of people love Chiagus. They're their favorite needle, blah, 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 blah. Not a fan, not a fan. But I wanted to knit them on zeros, and these are my only zeros, and yada yada. I am just now, you can't tell, but I did start the stockinette. They will have this brioche band, and they're super squishy. Like you can kind of see that give, you know how squishy brioche is. It'll give them, because I wear mine with my clogs a bunch, and I think that that'll be nice and squishy in my clog. And then I am going to try a garter stitch heel. I've never done that before. And then I'm going to try something really weird and funky on the cuff, and I don't know if it's gonna work or not, and you guys will just see it when it gets there. But I'm calling these my Try Me Franken socks because I'm basically just trying all these things that I don't know if they're gonna be cool or if they're gonna work or whatever, but I've wanted to try them, so why not make them in one pair of socks, right? That's it for the knitting. That's all I got. I'm gonna talk about other stuff that is not things that I'm actively knitting on, but it is knitterly things. So I hope you stick around. I mean, I'm not gonna make you or nothing, but you know, you never know what's gonna happen here, folks. The 1,000 subscriber giveaway. You guys rock. It's so much fun. Any new viewers, on my last episode, I announced that I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I wanted to do a giveaway to thank all the people who come here to watch my crazy. What I decided to have you guys do, I am in the stuff room. This room is filled with heirlooms and things that I hold dear to my heart. I mean, how many other places can you sit and find just like, you know, I mean, how I don't even know where this came from, but it is super old and it's my grandma-nada's. And there's shit like this laying all over this room and I love it. Because I love this so much and it's sort of what prompts my creativity and my love of makers and creators and it being passed down through history, I thought it would be cool for me to see your stuff. Because I share my stuff, I wanted to see your stuff. So the giveaway is you can either post on Instagram an heirloom and tell me why you chose that heirloom, maybe what it is, so I know what I'm looking at, or we know what we're looking at, and go ahead and hashtag it Chevy Rel's 1K giveaway. If you don't have Instagram or feel more comfortable posting on Ravelry, it was mentioned to me, I never mention the Ravelry group. I'm not on it a whole bunch. I do check it all the time, but I'm just not, like I don't start stuff in there. I like Instagram better. I'm a visual person. I want to see pictures. Ravelry, I check my messages and that's about it. I don't like, well, I obviously look at patterns. I don't hang out on the forums or anything. Of course, if the forum gets any activity, I will for sure be there. I just don't typically start things in there. But I didn't want those of you who don't have Instagram to not be able to participate in the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So I did start a thread in the on the Chevy Rel's Stuff group page forum thingy in Ravelry. I'll link it below. For those of you who are only on Instagram, if you're liking the heirloom thing, be sure and go check out that thread. There are some awesome things in that thread. It is way easier to type a longer explanation, so a lot of the entries on the thread have some really cool stories with them. I am going to be pulling from both. I'm sure most of you saw the last episode with Mama Jean and my dad. My dad is going to be pulling the winners. So, which, there's just a spider, like right there, just hanging out. Sometimes I feel like a witch, you guys, because I have spiders and it's like, they're eating bugs, they're cool, right? Unless they come at me. Like wolf spiders, nah. Like no wolf spiders. Don't come at me, bro. I will kill you. But if you just like hang out and do your own thing, I mean, this guy is like smaller than an eraser on a pencil. They're those little ones that hop. Anyway, sorry.
Tangent. Squirrel.
Now what was I talking about? It's warm. What was I talking about? Oh, my dad's drawing for the winners. So I am going to do it because obviously I am old school. As tech savvy as I think I am or pretend to be, I like old school stuff. And I am not doing any of that number generator malarkey. I am making an Excel spreadsheet. I'm putting all of your names in it, and my dad is going to draw them out of a hat. I'm going to have 3 prize packs. When I originally announced the giveaway, I didn't know when I was going to be making it back to Ohio to have Dad draw. I know. September 29th is when we will be drawing for the winners. So if you need to get your heirloom posted, or if you need to track it down to get pictures of it, hop to it. The fine print. You must be a subscriber of the podcast. You must be a member of the group. You on Ravelry, if you post on Ravelry. Yeah, member of the group. Actually, I'm not really going to pay attention to that. You have to be subscribed to the podcast, though. Okay? Must be a podcast subscriber. 1 post per viewer. So you can't post in Instagram and then post something different in on the Ravelry group. You can post multiple things, you're just only gonna get one entry, unless it's fiber related. If it's fiber related, then you get a bonus entry too. Be sure and do that. September 29th, I will record with my papa, and it will be one episode by itself just announcing the winners. So be on the lookout for that. So I have received some fantabulous gifts from amazing friends. I mentioned Mr. Paul Miller already, right? Okay, for those of you who don't know who Paul Miller is, Paul Miller, Paul, that just sounds weird. He's Paul Miller, not Paul. It's kind of like Christy Glass. It's Paul Miller. To me, he will always be Paul Miller. Is Paige the Framer's, I was gonna say wife, husband. Paul Miller is Paige the Framer's husband. For those of you who don't know Paige, you need to. Her links will be below. She owns Frame and Fiber, which is a framing / yarn shop. Some of you may know her from seeing her on Christy Glass. What? My girl was just interviewed by the Christy Glass, not even kidding. Anyway, she sent me stuff, you guys. I have not decided, maybe I can decide right now if I think about it. I said she's a framer. Some of you may already know about her knit mats. Right? Are you kidding me with this? How flippin' cute is that? This is an 8x10. You get her fancy label on the back. Oh, well, right there, Frame and Fiber. She sent me not one, but two. This one is offset, Born to Knit, right? Tattoos, right? Ugh. Skulls, Knitting Takes Balls. Okay, she said I can do whatever I want with these, okay? I really want one. I've wanted one for a very long time. In fact, I bought a frame. So one of these I'm gonna keep because I love Paige and I want to show everybody her awesomeness. The thing is, I can't pick. I can't choose because they're both so flippin' fantabulous that I'm going to give one of them to one of you and make you pick. What I haven't decided yet is how I'm gonna do that. I don't want it to be as easy as, you know, go here and tell me, you know, what you like or say this number or whatever. Like I want, you know me, I like to kind of be outside the box. I think I got it. Another Instagram, because you know that's how I roll and I like to see pictures. So here's the giveaway. I want to see the picture that you want to put in one of these frames and hashtag it knitmatme. Okay? Knitmatme. You are welcome to tag Paige so that she can see the awesomeness that you have as well, or that you want to put in her cool knit mats. But pick a cool picture that you want to put in one of these frames and hashtag it knitmatme. I'll put it knitmatme down here so that you can see. And I will draw for this the next time I record an episode. Have fun. I'm just excited for you guys to pick one so that I can use the other one. I haven't decided what picture I'm gonna put in mine yet though either, so I'll be right there looking with you. The Airlies pattern is a sock pattern that I saw on Instagram, and it is by Julie Bray. It was around the time that Olive was having all of her issues. For those of you who are new viewers and have not seen my Olive episode, she is my elderly pug that fell off a wall and had to have her leg amputated. She is blind. It was traumatic, and she's kind of like the podcast's little mascot now. But when I was going through all that, I liked and said how cool this pattern was. I'll show a picture. I loved this pattern. I commented on her post on Instagram, and Julie, the designer, was so sweet and gifted it to me. So I am going to be casting those socks on hopefully soon, after I get my Franken socks done. Maybe. We are going to Mexico in October, so that would be perfect to take on my trip. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Thanks so much, Julie. I look forward to knitting them, and I'm going to stalk and see who else has knit them because I need to pick colors. Look who's joining us, the mascot. The reason that she's joining us is because this is another gift that I received that is so heartwarming, I can't even. My friend Allie, who we follow each other on Instagram, and we're actually friends on Instagram and chatted on Instagram well before I had my podcast. And it was because we both have pugs and both knit. Well, Allie knit this sweater for her pug Boomer, and unfortunately, he passed away at, I think it was the beginning of June. It was either late May, early June, which sucks. But she knit him this sweater, and because all puggish figures are pretty close, she thought that it would be cool to pass it on to Olive. Now, she got to meet Olive at the Michigan Fiber Festival, and I got to meet her in person, and it was so flipping cool just because it was weird because we'd been friends before the podcast. So when she introduced herself, it wasn't even clicking to me. So when I finally figured out who she was, I was like, Ellie! So it was awesome. And then for her to send this was, so cool. So Boomer's sweater is living on, and you guys, look what she did. She sewed the leg hole shut. Let's show him the back, Olive. Look! Is that not so cool? I know. Oh my gosh, do you love it? Olive loves it. It's a little warm right now, but she loves it, don't ya? Say thank you, Allie. Thank you, Allie. And everyone who has not met her, this is Olive. And she would rather be napping, so I'm gonna put her down. I am super thankful. Thank you so much. And Olive does wear sweaters. We camp when it's cold outside, so she will get use out of it for sure. Thank you very much. Okay, last gift. Oh, my camera's all sorts of wonky, isn't it? I know y'all don't come here for professionalism. Like everything's always wonky as shit, so you know. Last gift. How cool is this? Mama Jean made this for me. Last time I was home when we recorded, oh, you can't really see it. It is a cross stitch, and it's poofy. There's little poofies in there, and look at the back. Ah, isn't that awesome? Last time I was home and we recorded, we went to brunch on Sunday and then went to Joann's. They had these kits, and she bought it for me and made it. And it'll go perfect in here. It's going in the stuff room. Just haven't hung it up yet. Plenty of wall space. She also got me this awesome owl macrame hanging thing, but it's out in the camper and I forgot about it until right now. But it's gonna live in here as well. Last couple things. I'm almost done, guys, I promise. I finished reading The Night Circus. For those of you who like books and like fantasy, circusy, magic-y, in-depth stories, The Night Circus is a good read. It is actually a great book club read. I very much enjoyed the banter, or I guess it wasn't banter, the discussion between Jake and Ray at Dogstar Knits in them discussing the book. It was fun to listen to somebody else. First I have to tell you, I have never read a book with anybody else, been in any sort of book club. You know, outside of reading a book in high school and having to write a paper on it and discussing it in class, I have never done it as an adult where I actually read a book that I enjoyed and chose to read and that sort of stuff. So it was cool to listen to other people's perspective on the story and thoughts and ideas on characters, and I found it super interesting, and thank you very much, Jake and Ray, for doing that. I enjoyed it very much. I was discussing books with another viewer, and somehow it came about that I would like Mythos. I think she had just gotten done reading it and told me about it. It's by Stephen Fry, and it's a different take on mythology and mythological. I can't even blame the alcohol, you guys. It's something to do with mythology. I think it's a retelling of stories in mythology. Mythology has always been something that I've really liked, but I've never been good at. I've never taken a mythology class. I know very little about it other than, you know, what I've seen in the movies. I attempted to read the Odyssey once. It was terrible. Those names, I have no idea. At one point I wanted to like cross them out and write John, Nick, Paul, because I couldn't keep track of who any of those people were. It made me feel stupid, honestly. Like it was way over my head. I had no idea. I guess this mythos is not that way and very, very good. So I immediately went on the hunt for it. And you know, I do Audible books. Cannot find it anywhere. There's something in the United States or something that I can't get it on Audible or in any audio form. I did find it on Audible UK. I do not live in the UK. If any of you know some secret that I do not know as to how I can get that book, please let me know, because I really want to read it. Damn it. Okay, last thing and I'm out. A couple episodes ago, I mentioned some of my weirdness, and I said I had a condiment thing that I wasn't going to get into, and a few of you PM'd me or DM'd me or whatever asking what the condiment thing was. Here's the condiment thing. Certain meats get certain condiments, and you never mix condiments. So a hamburger gets ketchup, a cheeseburger gets mustard, chicken gets mayonnaise, and turkey gets mustard. And you never mix them. That's my weirdo condiment thing. And all my friends like know my condiment weirdness and make fun of me for it. In good fun. They also make fun of me because while I grew up rurally and I was in 4-H and my friends had things like cows and pigs, I took pigeons to the fair. That's all I got. Be sure to like and subscribe, all that happy horse shit, and I'll catch you next time. Later.